All right, switching up the scenery. I'm out in the cornfield. I know I made a video last year from here. Link at the top if I could find it. I'm sure I'll be able to find it. Today, Keep Track Week is average pot size. It is a Saturday, and it's like, it's not quite 5 p.m. yet. At 6 o'clock, I'm gonna start counting the average pot size for 50 hands. I know it was a lot lower in Vegas than it was in Lake Elsinore. We'll see what it is here. I'm expecting something in the middle. Don't know yet. I will keep track, and there will be graphics. I will probably show you every single hand, what the pot is. This is the trickiest one to film, but I don't have any other thing. I know in the past I've done this and other videos. That is incredibly difficult, to keep track of every pot to the dollar, to also keep track of something else that I've been keeping track of on Saturdays, to also keep track of something else that I've been keeping track of on Saturdays, and then play hands and have conversations. I've done all 5 of those things in the same day before. Very difficult. Today, just one keep track thing and playing hands and conversations. Only 3 things shouldn't be that difficult. The casino's right over there, behind you, behind the camera, so I'm gonna go play there, and I'm gonna tell you at the end of the night what the average pot size was for all 50 hands. All right, a few rules. I'm done playing. I played almost 8 hours. Shout out first to Rice. That's his name. He leaves comments sometimes, and he was in the poker room tonight. So even though that's what he called me, that's actually his name also. Thanks for the gift, Rice, and it was fun playing at the same table. As far as the Keep Track Week stuff, a chop, not that we had any, but a chop would have counted as 0. A raise and then everyone folds. It's the called bets. So a $1 small blind, a $3 big blind, and then a raise to 10 and everyone folds. There would be the $1 for the small, the $3 for the big, and the $3 out of the raise counts, not the whole raise amount. So that would be a pot of 7. Had a bunch of those at in Vegas when I did this Keep Track Week day in Vegas. I don't think we didn't have any chops. I don't even think we had a raise and then take it. I think there was one hand where there was a straddle and everyone folded. That was the closest we had to it. So for that hand, from the straddle I counted $3, for the big blind the $3 because those 2 were matched, and the $1 small blind. Yeah, the game was pretty good. It's interesting actually. Rice got to the table right after it calmed down a little. It became fun from a social aspect, and because the 1 seed was doing some very strange things. But right before he got there, when I was counting, we had 3 guys who were making the game awesome and who kind of left one by one, and the 3rd guy left right before Rice got to the table. But it was awesome for a while. In full disclosure, 4 hands kind of have an asterisk. 1 was an all-in and a call. The all-in player, who clearly had fewer chips than the caller wins. So the stack just gets slid across the table. It was a lot of reds and a lot of whites. I actually did have time to count the reds before it got pushed. Did not have time to count every single white. But I couldn't have been off by more than like $3 or $4. There was another hand that actually 2 hands I kind of forgot when the flop was out. So there weren't many chips in the middle. I just kind of looked at the chips in the middle and counted them one by one. I might have been off like $5 or like $2 or something. There was one hand that had a ton of action pre and a lot of action on the flop, and I didn't remember I was doing this until the turn. There was a $100 bet on the turn. So I counted best I could every chip I could see. They're not totally spread out, so not like every single chip is visible. I might have been off by like $20 on that one. Not a huge deal. Anyway, those are the rules. And I guess we're going to the graphics to show you the some patterns, some trends, and the average, well, the pot size for all 50 hands. And I'll talk about it and show you the average. All right, let's open up a grid and insert all the numbers. So how to read this table. The black font columns, the alternating columns, are just the count, what hand I was on. Started with 1, ended with 50, and then next to it in green for money, the corresponding pot size. So you see the $sign, but it's also green font. That's how big the pot was. So first, let me just tell you what the total, and the average was. So total money bet, bottom right, $4,786, and the average pot size was $95.72. If you don't play poker a lot, or if you don't count this while you're playing ever, you might not know this is a massive number. This tripled Vegas, and this even beat Lake Elsinore by a lot. This was a very big number. So just to show you some highlights, only 3 hands were single digits. I think the $7 pot was a straddle and everyone folded, and the $9 pots were one person limped, the small blind completed, and then the big blind checked, and it just went like that to showdown, $9 in there. But we had six hands of at least $270. Some of these were all in, some weren't. Some there was plenty of money behind of the players that got to the river. And then they showed down, or there was a bet, and then a fold on the river. So there you have it. Kicked the crap out of Vegas, even Lake Elsinore, which is amazing if you've ever played Lake Elsinore. Anyway, yeah, you know, in a few weeks, couple weeks, I'll compare all three cities, and that's about it for now. Again, shout out to Rice. He actually commented a few days ago that he was going to try to make it here. He did, and we had a good time at the table. And again, thanks for the gift. And remember, rice is a spoon food.